Hello people and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Deep Roy Chaudhary and I'm just a normal guy who talks about stuff that seems interesting and important to me. And today I'm going to talk about the fact that or talk about the origins of the novel coronavirus. I don't think this is my assumption. I'm not an expert. I'm not a virologist. I'm not a scientist, but I'm not an expert in any of these topics. But what I'm saying is basically it is possible that we would not be able to accurately pinpoint the origin of this novel strain of coronavirus because let's assume it can be a naturally born virus, but it can also be a kind of virus that has been artificially manipulated in such a way that we wouldn't able that any expert virologist would not be able to say with 100% surety that this strain of novel coronavirus is basically a genetically engineered strain of virus. So from what I have read, from what little I have read about this topic, I have come to know that it is possible that that the way various kinds of viruses are genetically altered these days is that they leave very little trace of the fact that these viruses are artificially engineered. It would be very difficult to detect difficult to say with assurance, to say with 100% surety that a specific strain of virus or a specific strain of pathogen is a genetically altered strain of a different pathogen. So since we have this, since genetic engineering of these different kinds of pathogens, I'm pretty sure that it happens in almost every country around the world. I'm pretty sure that almost every major country around the world might have certain specific secret programs which would basically which are basically created for the sole purpose of creating these kinds of bioweapons. So it is quite possible for various countries to secretly have these kinds of programs. I mean, countries secretly do produce and do manufacture nuclear weapons. So if they can secretly manufacture nuclear weapons, why can't they secretly manufacture bioweapons? It's just our chemical weapons or these kinds of stuff. I mean, it's just obvious. So again, all I am saying is basically this, that even if this is genetically altered, I don't think any expert virologist would be able to tell. I might be colossally wrong about it. Maybe some expert virologist might be able to tell that in the future that okay, this strain might be is genetically altered. Maybe they would be able to say with a certain reasonable amount of surety, but I don't know. But it can also be possible that this strain of novel coronavirus is basically naturally born. It's a natural mutation. That can also be possible. But either way doesn't matter. Eventually, I think this novel strain of coronavirus, this pandemic, has obviously damaged and drastically harmed China's reputation on the international stage. That is, there are no two ways about it. I mean, almost the entire world is basically in lockdown, or basically are drastically affected by lockdowns in other countries, I guess. I mean, countries that are hugely dependent on tourism. I'm pretty sure, I don't have any statistics to back up what I'm about to say, but I'm pretty sure that countries that are dependent on tourism, like Dubai, basically United Arab Emirates, Dubai is there. So UAE or Singapore, these types of countries that are very much dependent on tourism or dependent to a great extent on tourism, these countries must have been at least somewhat affected because of this pandemic. And not just tourism, I'm pretty sure that all kinds of economic activities in various nations have been affected because of the lockdowns that have happened in various nations. And in today's interconnected world, interconnected economy, if something happens in India, the Brazilian economy might get affected. If something happens in Argentina, the American economy or the European economy might get affected. So it's just interconnected economy these days. So one bad thing happening in one part of the world, it might have ripple effects in various parts of the world. So but if this novel strain of coronavirus was actually being genetically altered, and gain of function research was actually being done on some different strain of coronavirus to create this novel strain of coronavirus, then it is obviously going to raise a lot of questions. And by the way, it's not just China that has been involved in this. The National Institute of Health, American National Institute of Health, granted funds to an organization called, I'm forgetting the name of that organization, granted funds to some eco-health, I am forgetting the exact name, granted funds to a US NGO, I think, or maybe some other kind of private organization. That US organization gave funds to the Wuhan Institute, or basically indirectly maybe gave funds to the Wuhan Institute of Virology for gain of function research, allegedly. Again, I don't know, I cannot remember all the facts completely, I might be wrong about it, so please double check everything on Google, but I think this is basically what has happened. So if this is actually true, if American money has indirectly gone to gain of function research in the Wuhan Institute of Virology of all places, so it just raises a lot of questions. So gain of function research, for those who do not know, let me try to explain it in a simple manner. Gain of function research is basically the kind of research that various biological labs do on various pathogens. Pathogens are harmful microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, or whatever. So basically, you make the virus stronger, you make the virus more lethal, more transmissible, or make the pathogen more lethal, more transmissible through genetic manipulation or genetic engineering, I think. Please double check the definition of gain of function research on the internet, but I think this is basically what it is. I might be wrong about it. But the point being, if American money was being used for gain of function research in China, that just raises a lot of questions. I mean, is it, and that organization, that US organization that received grants from the National Institute of Health, I think, and then indirectly gave money to the Wuhan Institute of Virology, that organization is also involved in research with other countries as well. From what I've been hearing, India might be one of them, if I am not wrong. But still, just double check on it. More on this in the next video. But this whole situation is unraveling quite interestingly, and we will see what are the ripple effects of the various findings that we might see in the future. More on this in the next video, I think. Until then, please consider liking this video, please consider sharing this video with your friends and acquaintances, and please consider subscribing to my channel. If that will help me a lot. Until the next video, stay safe, goodbye, and God bless you.